Ready?
Alright, I'm Felicia and I'm going to be demonstrating how to saddle a horse. I think it's really important that everybody knows how to saddle a horse because if you do it wrong, then it can be very, very dangerous and could cause your life in some cases. So I'm going to start off with, there's two different types of saddles. This one's a Western saddle and there's another one that's English. The difference between the two is that the Western saddles have this saddle horn right here, and English doesn't have a saddle horn at all. The reason that the Western saddles have a saddle horn is because when the cowboys would lasso the cattle, they would put the rope around the saddle horn. And the English saddles also weigh a lot less. This one weighs between 55 and 60 pounds, and the English saddles weigh between 10 and 15. Before you want to start saddling your horse, you want to make sure it's completely groomed and clean, and make sure that everything, because if the dirt is underneath the saddle and you put the saddle on, it'll cause sores. This is the saddle seat. It's cushioned for your comfort of riding. This is the saddle skirt. If you can look underneath, it's wool. It's got like 2 inches of wool, so it's soft for the horse. This is the billet strap. This is also known as the bucking strap because a lot of people put it wrong on and make it really tight, and so they get bucked off. This is the fender. This prevents the leg from rubbing the horse. This is the stirrup where you put your feet in when you ride, and this is the vertigo. So when you first start saddling, you want to make sure it's completely clean and brushed so no sores happen. And you're supposed to be standing left of the saddle, but I'm going to be kind of back and forth since I'm demonstrating it. The first thing you want to do is you want to tie the horse up. One of my sources said the most common mistake is people forget to tie their horse up, and so when they saddle their horse, they kick him in the process and run off and stuff like that. So the first one is the billet strap. It's pretty easy. What you want to do is, it's like an ordinary standard belt. You just buckle it in. It's pretty simple. And this part over here, the vertigo, you stick it in the cinch. And I'm just going to do it like right here. It doesn't really matter because where you do it, as big as your horse is. Make it look like this, go through. You just want to tighten it a couple times because that's depending on how tight you want it to be. And then you want to cross over and go through the back. You know you did it right if it kind of looks like a belt. So the belt looks. And then once these are tied, you want to make sure, a lot of the time horses are really stubborn, and so they'll blow their bellies out, and so when you're saddling them, once you get on it, you realize the saddle's really loose. So then it starts moving on you, so you want to make sure to prevent this, you want to wait a couple of minutes and then re-tighten it after a couple of minutes. And then when you're finally finished, you want to put the bridle on the horse, and you